Elevation. When we get into a project like this that has so much going on with elevation, there's an awful lot of engineering things to think about between drainage and stabilization and all of that, but then the basics, how to, will this work? Is what we're doing feasible? Can we do it? And what happens is as long as we understand the basics of physics and how it works and being able to get our footings deep enough onto solid ground and using a lot of rebar and a lot of cement, we're fine. Oftentimes what people do is when they bid out a job like this, they try to skimp and they try to cut corners, and there's no place for cutting corners on a project like this because there's so much happening and there's so much. Literally, this is the top of the spa, and the spa is 3 feet 3 inches deep, and then there's 10 feet of solid concrete from there down underneath it supporting this whole structure up. So we had to build in layers. Each of these walls had to be backfilled with cement. So I'm standing right here 3 feet down. I'm probably on 8 or 9 feet of solid concrete underneath me, and understanding that and then dealing with those elevations, you have to think this through. And this is certainly not a project to get into and think that you can cut corners and be the cheapest guy that's going to bid it out, because there's so many things. Even now, with as much as we do this, we're still probably over in our cement calculations. We've probably used more cement than I would have imagined using on the project, let alone just getting it to this rough state that it's at. We're probably going to be 40% over in terms of just concrete by the time we're done here. Now, had we bid it to the penny to worried about that to the penny, we would be in a tough spot right now, and we'd be trying to cut corners to salvage. Fortunately, we've been down this road and we understand, but even with all that preparation, we can still come up short. And in this particular case, we still are going to be really tight when it comes to concrete, because there's a lot more happening. There's a lot more places that need to get filled with cement. We had to stabilize and make sure that this thing doesn't move, because once you're invested in something like this, you got to make sure you do it right, because the last thing we would ever want to do is have a situation where something catastrophic goes wrong here because we cut a corner. We absolutely don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are solid from top to bottom so we never have an issue.